obviously extremely happy that our guys got rewarded with a win, because we've actually, outside of that Stetson game, which that was an embarrassment, we've played pretty good for a while. And I tried to tell you guys, I don't like excuses, especially after a loss. But not having Jermaine's becoming the heartbeat of our team, and not having him in that Florida game really, really hurt us. Obviously at Tennessee, we played hard enough and well enough to win. We just couldn't score. We went 19 possessions with an 8-point lead and scored 4 free throws in the second half. You're not going to win when you do that on offense. And but I'm really happy for 3 guys. Because they're unbelievably committed to what I ask them to do. They're great teammates. They got courage, and they've got a desire to compete. And there's 3 guys that make great plays for us today. That's Jermaine, TJ Moss, and Justin Minaya. Seeing Justin make shots, you couple that with his competitive edge. And it's the way the game should be played. It's rewarding when good things happen to guys like Justin. And but a lot of credit to our guys that we can obviously play a team as good as Kentucky, and even though we got down, have the courage to keep fighting and win.
Coach, just here in the back, just
David, I didn't know you went to TV.
Well, yeah, someone has to step up for David.
Change your hairdo too.
Yeah, everything. Lost the beard too. I don't know if you noticed that through the camera, but
Coach, you dress better.
Thank you. In terms of just seeing the basket go in at the end, you talk about the guys being rewarded. Just, I don't know how quickly you could process emotions. Just what was going through your mind, and just how joyful in that moment were you to see that ball go in, and then to see the celebration that ensued inside the arena and on the floor.
I mean, obviously, the ball goes in, you feel good. You got 15 more to play, man. It's hard to get. I get this new wave of how we do things where we over celebrate everything. I get it. That's not who I am. I try to dance, but I'm such a bad dancer, my wife won't dance with me. So it'd probably be a bad thing for me to put on some phony dance routine. But I'm really happy for our guys. I've told you guys all year, we've got some really good kids. I've been searching for this team to have a personality. We've in difficult moments, we've gotten really, really quiet. Jermaine is learning how to play college basketball. His feelings were hurt in November because it's harder than he thought it was going to be. And then the ball wasn't going in for him. So he got a little timid and passive. And leading into Christmas, he was really starting to play better. And he's practicing better. And coming off of Christmas, I probably should have started him at Tennessee. I probably should have, because he's been that good and so committed to what we're doing. So as a coach, when kids work hard, you want them to be rewarded, because if you keep losing, it breaks their spirit. And that's the hardest thing to manage as a coach. It's not hard to manage when you got guys that don't compete to win. That's easy to manage. When guys are laying it on the line for you and practicing in games, that the ball just won't go in. Like we almost lost today because we couldn't make a free throw coming down the stretch. We had 2 bad defensive possessions, but we missed a second of 2 free throws, and then AJ missed 2, so we missed 4 free throws in the last 50 seconds of the game. That forced us to make that Hail Mary. But I'm really happy for our guys and happy for Jermaine, because he could have joined the club and stayed quiet and passive, and he's refused to do that. He's taking ownership of our team, and as a coach, I wish I probably should have given him more ownership a little sooner than I did.
Coach, you had some trouble offensively finding a groove, and then suddenly, I think it was after the under 12, things started to click. What kind of adjustments did you have to make there?
Early in the game, we missed a bunch of shots, but we were also quick shooting, trying to beat shot blockers by quick shooting the ball. I think Nick Richards getting in foul trouble helped us, obviously. It takes away a a tremendous presence at the rim on offense and defense. I think we were a little bit too juiced up to start the game, so we were trying to play off. Ever since I made the decision, it's something else that we've tried to change. Ever since I made the decision to change the lineup, we're playing differently than we've ever played here before. We've committed to play differently on offense. So the guys have been trying to learn a different structure than what we practiced September and October. But I think as the game wore on, we settled down. We were better with our decision making rather than going too soon in the possession. But I think the zone threw them off. It created some open court opportunities, and then we came out of that. They took the 2-point lead, and we ran a play I put in just for this game. And Mike Kotsar drives it, kicks, and Justin makes a 3. So as a coach, you feel good when good things happen to good kids.
Hi, Frank. John Calipari has talked all year about his team having fight and toughness.
They got it.
They wanted to come out and hit you guys first and be the aggressor. You're familiar with his teams, his style of play. How would you compare this particular team to the ones that he's had in the past?
He's got the toughest point guard in the country in Ashton Higgins. And so when your point guard is tough as nails, the rest of your team resembles that behind them. And that's who Ashton is. And then quickly, I told Nick Richards after the game, the one beauty, because we all worry about the top 10 player out of high school and the one and done and the greatness and blah, 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 all that nonsense that we all talk about because certain people cover high school basketball, so they got to promote the one and dones in college. I told Nick Richards, I respect the heck out of him. You know why? Because that's the beauty of college basketball. You see kids grow. You see them get better. Nick Richards is so much better than he was as a freshman. It's not even close. So when you have a point guard that's so tough and a center that has committed himself to working, to earning the right to play, it makes your team real good. And now quickly he's taken a step up as a player from where he was at last year. The young man Maxey can really score the basketball. EJ's taking a step up. I like that team. I really do. I was watching them on film, and sometimes you get overwhelmed with their individual talent. As I was watching this team, I was like, I'm not gonna say I was overwhelmed, but I was impressed with the unity that those kids play with. And it's I've said this 100 times. He doesn't get the credit he deserves for the job he does with those kids every single year.
Frank, you obviously recruited Jermaine, who is a pretty prolific scorer coming out of high school. Is this the kind of Jermaine you expected to see when you recruited him, kind of getting to the rim, knocking down shots, and how nice is it to see his game, I guess, rounding into form?
Yeah, Colin. I mean, there's very few freshmen that jump into college basketball and it's boom from day one. I was challenging Michael Beasley before his first college game because he was falling asleep in our scouting report meeting. So I treated him like a kindergarten kid. I made him stand up, watch scouting report standing up while everybody else sat down. When the meeting ended, we're walking on the court, and he puts his arm around me. He says, I know you're mad at me. I got to get better at that. I said, Mike, you came here to get better. Well, when I took him out of the game the next day, he had 40 points, 21 rebounds. And he came by me, he says, I got you, man, I got you. So what I'm saying is there's some one and done guys that have that unbelievable ability, but there's other guys that they have to make the adjustment to college basketball. It's hard, man. This isn't easy. John hasn't built what he's built at Kentucky because it's easy. So, but there's so many other coaches at other schools that aren't popular like Kentucky. It's the same way. It takes time. And when you're doing it with nothing but freshmen at the other guard spots and first-year guys, it makes it even harder. So he's really been coming on since before Christmas. And I'm really happy for him because we needed that personality on our team.